have been abstaining from sex for a little over 2 years now, and Harriet is screaming to be set free. Hi, welcome to Prospering Property, where we like to prosper properly as his property. In the beginning, it was pretty easy because I was still pregnant with my twin boys at the time. And I know somebody might be like, girl, you wasn't having sex, but you was pregnant. Y'all, it's a very long story, and I will get into it a little later on in this video. But I am a single mother of 3 under 3. And for the longest time, I was wondering, Lord, will anybody love me and all my babies? Because, you know, in today's society, you hear so much about men not wanting a woman with children, especially if she has 3 or more. But I feel like God is calling me to marriage and has the special somebody out there for me. So I wanted to make this video today to ask God, please send me my husband. I've always had a desire to wait until marriage, but I could never make it past a few months. And then when I ended up pregnant with my twin boys, that is finally when God got the message to me, because my boyfriend at the time broke up with me. And you know, he had broken up with me previously when I was pregnant with our daughter, and we worked it out and got back together. So when the pregnancy with the boys situation happened, then I felt like this was going to become a cycle, and I didn't want to become a part of that. And then I also realized that had I just did it God's way, I wouldn't have even put myself in this situation. So I made up my mind right then and there that I was going to be obedient, and I was going to wait as long as it takes. Once I had the boys, then I moved to Florida with the 3 of my children. And because of the demands of single motherhood, it just never crossed my mind. I was always just so busy that I never had time or space or energy to even think about having a relationship with somebody outside of myself. However, earlier this year, I moved to Houston, Texas, and with our bigger space and with God calling me out of my work, I had a whole lot more time. And I began to have desires to date again. So I started being social on social media again. And once I did that, the DMs started rolling in. A few, very few, made it past the DMs and into my text messages. But they all seemed like they would just lead me astray. The conversations would get risky and a little racy. And I didn't want to be disobedient, and I didn't want to fall back into old ways. So I prayed to God to give me discernment and to give me a password so that I would know without a shadow of a doubt who my spouse is. And you all, it hasn't been easy, because no guy has said their password yet, but they keep coming, and they're coming with such vigor now. It's so much, and it's too much. And it's like, Lord, you know, Harriet is down here knocking on the door saying, let me out, let me be free, let me see the world again. And then I have the pressures of new men in my DMs and some of my previous partners. It just feels like there's an influx of potential suitors, but no one has said the password. And I also have the pressure of Harriet down there. So it's just like, Lord, am I by myself? Like, am I the only one going through this? And so I wanted to ask you all your opinion on sexual preferences and having the discussion about sexual intercourse. When should you discuss sexual preferences and interests with a potential partner that you're courting? One of my biggest fears with waiting until marriage is the fear that my partner will not be able to satisfy me sexually, or we will have a sexless marriage. Now I know sex is not the most important thing in a relationship. However, for me personally, I do think sex is very vital in a relationship. So I just want to know, do you all think that a courting couple should discuss sex? and sexual preferences? Or do you think that is something that, you know, you don't talk about? You just trust that God is going to bring you exactly what you need? Or do you think it could potentially lead to lust? And for those who have found their kingdom spouse, who have been joined together and have waited until marriage to be intimate, can you please share your story down below and just like some encouragement for me? Or like if you even felt like God exceeded your expectations, I would love to hear it down below. It would do a world of justice for me. So I just thank you so very much for sharing your story, and I pray that this also helps someone feel less alone and know that, you know, this waiting, this abstinence journey, it is not for the weak. And you know, to have sexual desires, it's natural. God doesn't punish us for the thoughts that we have, because sometimes we are unable to control our thoughts. However, we can control our actions and our reactions. So be honest with God. I tell God all the time, like, Lord, Lord, I need you, because the way Harriet is down here screaming, like, Father God, I need you. So I just wanted to help and be transparent and authentic with whoever is out there struggling as well and waiting for God to send them their husband. I pray that God gives us the strength to remain on this walk with him, and to also be patient and know and trust that he's going to send our man, because I can't wait to be like, my man, my man, my man. I'm definitely going to be one of those girls. So I'm just going to let y'all know now, because, you know, if you do join my channel and you subscribe to me, and, you know, God sends me my husband is definitely going to get on this camera and y'all gonna see him. And I'm just gonna forewarn y'all right now, before he has even stepped into the picture, I'm going to be that girl that's like, oh, my man, my man, my man, my man, or my husband. Like, yeah, I can't wait. So just warning you all now, that's going to be me. But for now, I do pray that God will lead us to where we need to be, when we need to be there, and to have faith in him and trust that he got everything that we need under control, and that he's going to take care of it. So I pray that the wait is not long. I pray that God instills in us everything that we need to get in our single season, so that we can be the best wife, and if you're a man, the best husband to our spouse that is on the way, and that we have a long, fruitful, healthy, deeply satisfying relationship in marriage. You all, in the meantime, in between time, let's continue to prosper properly as his property. Prospering property.